If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. So hi everyone, and welcome to episode 3. Yes, that's 3, not 1, 3 again of our 7th Sea game that we started months and months ago. If any of you want to do any catch up, there is a whole little playlist of other people playing the game, and then we've still got 2 original. Well, we've got technically 3 cast members who are from the original run of the game, but hang on, let me get it. 7th Sea. There we go. This is the playlist. Oh, let me just make sure everything's switched off as well. Oh, am I? Yeah, I am in bot. So that's the original playlist, right? So if any of you want to catch up, I'll explain mostly what's happened. What we're going to also do is we're going to go around. We're going to get everyone to reintroduce their characters with 1 player down again as well. Today has been literally herding cats. We were supposed to be live 43 minutes ago, but everything fucking went wrong. Someone dropped out, and I had to redo all the overlays because someone dropped out. And my sound was playing up and it was fine, and then it played up again, so I don't know what's going on. But other than that, hi, I'm James Corp. I'm the hostess with the mostess. I like saying that because it's what they used to sound like a game show. But anyway, hi everyone. I'm James, and I'm the Games Master. I'm still fairly new at Roll20. I'm fairly new at this game. Matt or Seamus, whatever his name is, Seamus. Seamus is actually Irish sausage. I have changed it on this thing, as you can see, but I forgot to click save on this part, and I can't bother to open up Photoshop because what happens when I open up Photoshop is I have a memory leak and it makes streaming really impossible. So I won't do that. I'll fix it at the end once we've finished the game. We'll be probably playing till about 3 hours now, 3 hours and 15 minutes. What we're going to do, get everyone introduce their characters and reintroduce their characters if they can remember anything. The new Matt and Bree, who are the new people here, they'll introduce their characters perhaps a little bit more in depthly, and then we're going to do a quick recap, or I'm going to do a quick recap so you can all be filled in what's happening. And then what we'll do after that is we're going to have a quick discussion of what we're going to do with the 45 minutes I've got of the previous third episode. Whether we're just going to go, none of that happened, 1 week later, or whatever. And because I want to get everyone involved pretty much straight away. I don't want to be sitting around, having people sitting around twiddling their thumbs. Okay. So yes. So we're going to go around the table, the wonderful virtual tabletop. We're going to start with Cameron, then we'll go to Bree, then we'll go to Matt, or Irish Sausage, who's Dark Liquid at the moment, and then we'll go to Chelle, or Kiss It Better. So Cameron, please introduce yourself and your character. Just give us a brief overview of your character. I don't want a whole hour of background.
Hello, I'm Cameron Harrison, and I am playing the Montaigne-born and bred Mari-Antoinette Normandie, the captain of the Le Fabou, which is the ship that we use.
Yeah, people like picking names of things I can't pronounce. Right, Bree?
Hi, I'm Bree Barnes. I'm playing a Montaigne noble named Marquis Alain Forbin de Prevoye.
Sorry?
And Alain is a 3rd son of a noble family, a Porte sorcerer, and was shipped off to school and spent his whole childhood idolizing his big brother, who's the perfect chivalrous noble and a fencer and all of the things that a bookish nerd didn't get to be.
And also your father's a bit of a bastard, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a bad guy.
We'll be exploring that, not today, but we'll be exploring that throughout the actual game. Matt or Irish Sausage, what would you prefer to be called, Matt? Irish Sausage or Matt?
I don't mind.
I'm just going to call you Matt because that's...
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I've got a
Yeah,
funny
I'm playing-
story to tell later, but
I'm playing Seamus Mackey. He's from Clan Mackey in the Highland Marches. It's a minor. They're quite a poor family. He's just a minor member of them. But Seamus himself is a warrior poet, a Shanake. And he's basically gone off to explore and tell the tales of his people around the world. And he wants to find something new to make up a tale to take back. Basically, he's got a thick red hair that's in like a crazy mane, and just sort of flows around the place. He's always wearing his clan tartans, and he carries with him a big old sword that's his family's heirloom.
Claymore.
Yep, Scottish claymore.
All right, cool. All right, Chelle.
Hello, I'm Chelle, aka Kiss It Better. My pronouns are she and her. I play Siobhán O'Brady. I had to remember the name for a second because it's been a while. She is originally from Vadachi, but she is a fate witch. And rather than allowing her father and her family to decide her fate, she was smuggled out of Vadachi and now lives in Inishmore. And as far as everyone knows, that's where she's from. So she doesn't reveal that part of her story to just anyone. She's a bit of a grifter, kind of trying to make her way up in the world, but her big dream is to actually like be a reputable person instead of the little hoe that she has to be right now.
Also, Chelle may have to quickly disappear for a brief moment of time because there's a naked woman on her front garden or back garden.
Yeah,
screaming.
So part of the craziness this morning is I was making breakfast and I look out my window and there was a naked woman screaming in my backyard. So the authorities have been notified, but they would like to talk to me at some point. So when the police show up at my door, I'm going to have to leave.
Not permanently. She's just gonna put
No, I'll
something
be
on her
back.
camera. What I'll probably do as well is I'll probably add. Because I forgot to do it. I completely forgot to mention that we. So what we do. So I'm a him and he. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What I'll probably do is I'll put that in our actual nameplates as well. I just forgot to do it.
Awesome.
I have ideas and then I don't do them.
Also, happy Pride, everybody.
Yes,
yeah.
happy Pride to all.
I'm doing a recap, ain't I? All right.
Yep.
So previously, so this is going to cover episodes 1 and 2, and possibly we'll go into the 45 minutes that we did of episode 3 that hasn't been put up yet, and I'm deciding on what to do it. So we started with almost a different crew. We had 2 other players. Monty's not here, unfortunately. He forgot about it, and he won't be here next week, I think, because he's away. Matt's away next week as well. But we'll keep going. We're gonna, as long as there's 3 players, we're gonna play. All right. As long as over half of the players are here, we're gonna be playing, regardless of what happens. So they got basically a cross from a guy that they had to take back to the port of something or other. I can't remember the port anymore. It's all going
Which
so well.
European country was it?
I can't remember.
Castile.
It was in Castile, wasn't it?
It was near the Vatican.
It was near the Vatican, wasn't it?
It was Puerto del Sur.
Yeah, that was it. They took the cross that I had named as basically a MacGuffin cross, the cross of MacGuffin.
Cross of the plot device.
Yep, which is what MacGuffin means. And they took it back, and did they? I can't remember if you sold it to someone. I can't remember what you did with it. It's been a while, but I know you was put in contact. Marie was being contacted with a former friend who is a countess, and she was very busy. And she had an argument with someone from the Inquisition because she seems to be fascinated with like ciphering artifacts and stuff. And then she was having a party or retirement party for a butler who was retiring, who was a very old man who'd been in the family for years. and they were told to, they could possibly come back for the event later that evening, which they did. But the house, when they arrived, a lot of the staff were basically strung up in trees, basically being hung from the trees, and the house was ablaze. Countess What's-Her-Face, because that's what her name's going to be, was
just call her Judy.
Countess Julie was basically locked in her room by the Inquisition, and the players had to get in and rescue her. So two of them got in from the upstairs, from the balcony window, basically, or the balcony door, and two others were downstairs rescuing as much shit as they could, because she had a lot of like artifacts. I think they stole some artifacts as well. I think there was some stealing of artifacts involved.
Nobody knows that though.
And I think they also found two children that were hiding in another room. They got her out, and basically they all came to the decision that it's not safe for her to be here because the head of the Inquisition in the area was fixated with her. So they grabbed her and basically, well, they didn't grab her. They took her back to the boat I can't pronounce.
The long-winded.
Yeah.
Literally.
And basically, basically left port, taking her back to Montaigne, where she can like be kept safe with her family. Because they'd found out that her husband had died, and who she'd married. It was probably during the War of the Crosses. Is it the War? Yeah, War of the Cross, wasn't it? Yeah. And basically, so to get her safe, they bunged her on a ship, and then they left port. Now there was 5 people, but 2 of them, one of them was running away. Yeah, I'm getting into it. So the other characters that we had was a cousin, a girl that had run away from her family because they wanted to marry her off, and she was part of the O'Toole family, and her cousin, I think it was Seamus or something like that, and they were basically trying to marry her off to like someone in the Vatican Church, or basically the Church of the Prophets, as a political motivated thing. And so this is where episode 3 comes, or the first 45 minutes of episode 3 that's still on my computer. I'm not sure what to do with it, so I think we'll have a little discussion about what we do. And so yeah, they'd set sail, and Marie managed to do you didn't get everything you wanted, because there was like lots of options that you could have gone for, but you didn't have enough raises to do everything you wanted, or you could have been able to do. So I can't remember what you picked. Do you remember what you picked?
Let me get my notes real quick. That would actually be a useful.
We've got notes.
Possibly.
I also took notes.
You wasn't here. I think that was the episode Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So in fact, you only missed 45 minutes from the last.
See, I was here for the episode where we set sail.
Yeah. So you wasn't here for the last step. Yeah, because we was down you, and then Jen messaged saying she didn't feel well.
Jen went first.
And then she quit, and then you left, and then I was like, I'm going to find new players.
Put it in the Sim.C folder.
This is my notebook right here.
Yeah, you would have missed it. This is going well, but yeah, no. But anyway, we need to decide. Do we just, because there was a ship following them? Now it would have just appeared to have been a normal merchant vessel.
What is a normal merchant vessel?
Just a merchant vessel, sailing
ship that
routes.
Yeah, there was a ship that was possibly following us, and it just turned out to be
Okay.
a merchant vessel.
Because they'd have routes, wouldn't they? They'd have pre-planned routes. Most ships will have routes that they follow, just so they don't hit any unknown beach themselves and hit rocks and stuff. But yeah, I reckon you would end up in the town of... How many maps have I've only done one. Well done, James.
I'm not save it. God damn it.
That's all right. I've got records of it, so we might throw it up. So we're going to throw... In fact, so what happened. You slowed down, because I think that's what you was going to do, and you found out, from the looks of it, it just looked like a merchant vessel that was literally just travelling the same route that you was. Which is fair enough. And I think she would ask you to take you to the town of... Oh, I can't fucking see anything on that map. I've got a book. Why don't I look in the book? Because it's over there. Fuck. 1 second. Hi everyone. I'm a professional... Did you know I'm a professional streamer?
It's okay, James. It's your first stream. It's cool.
Yeah,
First stream.
it's been a while.
Maps.
You're a bit rusty. You're a bit rusty for this scenario.
I did have some amazing plot points for Jen's character. This amazing net of things that were going to happen. What's the major port of Montaigne? Bree, you might know as you've run this game more than I have.
I mean, Cleo, but that's way to the north. I mean, the closest one to Castilla is Police. Which, that's just to the left of the Frothing Bay.
What's Airsent? Airsent? A-R-I-S-E-N-T. However that's pronounced.
Alexa? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the port my character's father is in charge of.
Alright, we're going there then.
This is fine.
This is
Ro-
fine.
let's go for Rogan. Let's say Rogan, alright? We're gonna go Rogan, which is this port here. Did you still see me ping that?
I did not.
Welcome.
If you
Oh,
on the
okay.
main map, if you
Here's
scroll
a
down,
dungeon
I need to
dose
get a
of
higher fucking
genuine
resolution
adventuring.
map, because it sort of disappears at the end. So I might sort that out. I might even use the out of character one, which is a bit more easy to look at. But I'll get round to that another time. Who? G-Man, thank you for the follow. Most appreciated. And everyone else who's followed, I've got no sounds because it will echo and cause me issues. So yeah, we're going to keep that canon. So what happens is I'm going to jump cut for about a week. So you get home. Oh, thank you for the bits as well. Most appreciated. That's the first bits I've had in a fucking long time. Thank you for the 200 bits. So we're going to... 1 week later, or as is it SpongeBob SquarePants where they go 1 week later, like that.
Pretty
One
much.
week later.
So yeah, so you've put her back in. Well, yeah, you've got her back with her family. It's her it's her father and mother. She's moved back in with them. It's horrible, but to get her feet back on the ground, obviously, they're very grateful for your assistance in getting her out of Castile, and away from the Inquisition. Depends on how much you told them.
I would have told them as much as what she would have told them.
And they, the two cousins, they basically make their excuses and flee into Montaigne, like further in, and it's about a week later, and you haven't had any roles or jobs set up yet at the moment. When a letter arrives at your ship, Marie, and obviously, oh my god, how do I pronounce your character's name? Siobhán, isn't it?
Yep.
Is it Siobhán?
It is Siobhán.
Alright. It's a different spelling that I've seen, but yeah. Yeah,
Irish,
you get Marie, you get a letter handed to you from your first mate. From Lady, what's her face?
Julie.
Countess Julie, yep. What, Jules? Countess Jules. Asking you to come speak to her. She has a potential business proposition.
C'est magnifique.
So,
I will go.
obviously the invitation is for yourself and Siobhán.
Yep, I will.
Oh, for me
go
too?
find-
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just been sent to Marie because it's her ship.
Just been addressed to the ship. I will go find Siobhán. Where would Siobhán be after a week of not being anything?
Probably very drunk in a tavern.
Excusez-moi, mademoiselle O'Brady. We have been asked to join Lady Julie de Beaugny at Father's estate.
Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. I've wondered what she's been up to. Let's go say hi.
This way?
You might have to help me get there.
I expect nothing less. Up you come.
Well, it's been goddamn boring with nothing to do all week. What did you expect me to do?
I have been busy with the affairs of the ship. I have not had time to look. Where is your friend, Monsieur Mallory?
Last I saw him, he was heading down the street with 2 or maybe 3 ladies on his arm. He has that effect on people. I don't expect we'll be seeing him for a while, and I have no intention of disturbing him.
Neither do I. Well, let us go. Allons-y.
Should we bring a present? Are we supposed to bring a present?
I think we will be fine.
Okay.
Yes. Mind your step.
Try not to let me fall.
And we make our way to Julie's father's estate.
All right. Okay, so I'm now going to jump. I'm going to put you to yourself, Alain and Seamus. I'm going to put you on spot, so you're going to have to think fast or be very. So, how would you find out? How would you? I mean, yeah. How would you find out about someone looking for to hire people for a certain role?
I would be hanging around the taverns near the harbour or the docks.
All right.
Alain is bored. He doesn't want to run a town, so he's been probably talking to a lot of sailors trying to find a job. He's a porte sorcerer, so he's always useful on a ship or anything like that.
All right.
Yeah, and
All
Seamus
right.
is a tap hand at sailing as well.
So you both obviously, whether it's by a fucking notice on a notice board or through word of mouth, that a noblewoman is looking for men, bodies, basically, people to help on a delicate mission. It does say like we pay. You know, it will be a good pay. It will, you know, good rates of pay. But there could possibly be danger.
Sounds like the kind of thing someone who needs to prove themselves would do.
What about you, Seamus?
Doesn't bother Seamus.
Also, Matt, can you make sure you've got one hero point? Because everyone starts with one hero point at the beginning of every session.
I can do that.
So when Marie and Siobhán, when you arrive, there are two people already in a not a waiting room, but at one of the reception rooms, because you know that's what they're usually called. And if you two like to describe yourselves, in fact, describe yourselves to each other. So we'll start with Cameron. How does Marie look?
So Marie is a red-haired woman. Dad, sorry, family. She is dressed in the blue of the Montaigne Navy. She has green eyes, 2 medals on her breast. I do apologize for my dad.
I could barely hear him. Keep going.
Okay, that's good. She has a saber by her side, and is wearing gold epitaph and very fancy attire. And she looks like she's got a tan, which is a result of many years at sea.
Alain?
Alain is a small man. He's probably about 5 inches below average height. He's pretty slight. He has pretty generic dark eyes, probably in the brown range. Dirty blonde, dark blonde hair, which is unkempt and sort of just tied back. Wearing very obviously noble clothes, but they're not even last season's fashion. He's got ink stains on his coat sleeves and wears gloves at all times. The only thing that really betrays his status would be the sword that he wears on his hip, that if anyone is a swords person, they would very obviously recognize has probably never been drawn before.
Seamus?
The first thing that strikes you about Seamus is he's got like a massive mane of red hair that's just left to grow wild, and blows in any wind that can be found in the room. He's got shocking green eyes, and if you walk into a tavern, he's probably stamping on a table, flagon of ale in hand, shouting his clan's stories for all to hear. And no one can quite tell if they're true or not, but they're certainly good stories. And he's always wearing his clan tartan, and nearby he'll have his claymore leaning on it as like a walking stick, or it's leaning against the wall somewhere. And he's got an extremely strong Highland Marches accent.
Hi, lady. No, that's rubbish. Anyway, let's not go there. Right, and Siobhán?
Siobhán is quite small. She actually has the advantage of being small? So she actually, it's one in the character thing. So she is quite a slight woman.
Same.
Long, very dark hair. Probably tied back in a braid, although she's been drinking for about a week. So who knows what's happened to her hair. She's dressed like she's trying to look above her station, but not, but practically. She, nothing that would get in the way of her movement or anything like that. And typically, and unless there was a reason she wouldn't be permitted to bring a weapon, she would have her whip on her hip.
I don't really know it's a whip.
Well, it's not quite a whip. It's that Japanese weapon that I found. So it's like the ring and the hook on the like long rope. That's her signature item.
Oh, I don't remember it, but sure.
I got a signature item thing, and that's what it was. So very useful as like for climbing or fighting or whatever.
All right. So you're all in this room. Two of them look like, well, one of them definitely looks haggard by the sea a bit. In fact, you probably can, when the officer-looking woman comes in, you probably do, I mean, you are on a seaside sort of like docky, sort of porty sort of city village anyway, but there's definitely the smell of like salt or sea salt on them. I can imagine that follows, gets into the clothes and everything. But it's not a nasty smell, really. I don't think it's quite a pleasant smell. It's better than like animal shit or whatever. You're all left for like, it's probably about 10 minutes before a woman, two of you recognise her instantly, comes down the stairs, and she sort of sits down. She goes, good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Countess Julie. Something or other, my unpronounceable surname. Because last time I tried pronouncing it, Cameron had a fucking fit. So I'm not going to pronounce it.
I did. James had to mute me on the chat because I was so loud.
And yeah, she goes, I obviously reckon, it's good to see you, Marie. And Siobhán. She looks, what?
Mademoiselle Countess.
Yes, that is my name. I never use my name myself. I like to be called. Why have you not got it down on your rivals? Damn you, Cameron! Damn you!
Because the whole point was I was to make her my friend. That's my story. I've typed it in the Twitch chat.
It's no good to anyone.
Countess Julie d'Aubigny. In fact, I do have it in my. I have it in my allies. I have her in my allies.
Why couldn't I see it?
Says right here, second one, on the third page.
Mm-hmm. Huh? I can't see it though. hang on, where have you written it?
So I've got it's tables, right? You're seeing tables, right? It's the second table.
That's blank for me.
Odd.
Are you looking at the right one?
Hang on, Cameron, are you looking at the stream?
At the stream. No.
Oh, all right. It's not this one, is it?
Oh no, not that one.
Which one is it then?
I'm looking at the Word document.
Oh, yeah, I need you to put in that for me, if you can, when you get a chance. Please. Thanks.
Sure, will do.
Alright, so we've got it here anyway. Yes, so she's like... So she goes... Now, unfortunately, yeah, I'm Countess Julie... Sure, we'll have a laugh at that.
You're trying. You're trying. That's
No, I
it.
just did you notice I mumbled it because I couldn't fucking pronounce it? Best way. And she's like, she says, she introduces herself. She says, these two fine people. She points at Marie and Siobhán. Saved me from a fire about a week ago in Castile, caused by the Inquisition. Now, there's something I want to hire you to do for me.
But of course, whatever may we help you with.
Well, before we go agreeing, let's hear what she wants.
I want you to find my husband's wreck.
That sounds like a good challenge. Do you know where he was sailing to?
I am not.
It's a big ocean.
There may be information back in Castile though.
Why now?
Have you ever had a feeling, a gut feeling that what was told to you may not be true?
Often, pretty much anytime someone speaks.
Well, I'd like to have confirmation.
Do you think he's not dead?
I don't know.
I think it's best if we. I definitely.
It was told. She said it was. It was told to me by the Inquisition.
By that Inquisitor, that Cardinal.
Cardinal Drogon.
Swine.
And that is your only source of information about the fact that your husband went down?
Do you not remember me discussing that sometimes he says things that he shouldn't know?
Yes.
Hmm.
I remember.
Sorry. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that my character can do. She would have read the auras when she came into the room because she gets that as a free action.
Okay. I can't remember what auras we said. We did pick auras. I think she was like.
Basically, I'm able to see the 2 cards that we pick.
Yeah.
I'm able to know what everyone's is.
Oh no! Damn it! Cameron. Everyone. Well, while I'm looking it up because I can vaguely remember what it was.
Everyone else can just tell me theirs.
Yeah. Colours. What colour? What did you see? Colours.
Yeah, I think it comes across as colors, and then because she's a Fey Witch, she knows how to interpret that to know sort of what everybody's weakness and what their motivation might be to like tempt them into something. And she just likes to know that about people that she's dealing with.
All right. So we'll start with Marie.
So, what do you want to know?
Your Arcana.
My Arcana. I don't
Yes.
have an Arcana.
Yes, you do.
Remember we had to pick those two cards. One was your strength
Oh.
and one was your weakness.
Yes. Un momento. So, I am a comforting person. I'm a very comforting person, but I am also very overzealous.
Okay.
Alain is comforting as a virtue and trusting as a hubris.
Oh, she's gonna have fun with that.
I think
Yes.
James is going to have fun with that.
Matt.
I'm trying to find my ones. Page it down. Details, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, my virtue is glorious, and my hubris is curious.
Excellent.
With two comforting people in the party, we are literally never going to be affected by fear.
Yes.
What was your
that's-
hubris, Matt?
Curious.
That's your virtue, isn't it?
No, my virtue is glorious.
As a GM, curious is the absolute best hubris for someone to have. Have a
Yeah, I
hero
can't
point.
help
Go
myself.
do the stupid.
Yep.
So Gryffindor, basically.
Can't hurt.
So we found out that the virtues of Thingamabobby, Countess Julie, was friendly and manipulative. Siobhán doesn't trust her because of manipulative. But yeah, there we go. That's as much as we need. Oh, and they asked her what the name of the ship was. It's called the in whatever the language, the common language, I fucking forget it. It's called
Old thief.
Old Fian.
Okay.
It's called Rave Runner, but if someone uses Google Translate, they could probably translate it to the Spanish, or the Spanish sounding thingy. Motto, yeah.
This is going to be us coming up with increasingly awesome names to get James to try and pronounce, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Yes.
I'm just saying, my girlfriend's Puerto Rican. I'll come up with some Spanish names.
Thanks. Really easy pronounceable Spanish names, preferably.
Okay, I still have 3 more characters to create for my allies, and they're all going to be Barachi. So
All right,
good
cool.
luck with that.
Well,
So
just a minute,
the other,
yeah.
sorry, I was going to say the other thing Siobhán would ask was what kind of cargo the husband was running.
It was a military ship.
Okay.
Castilian ship. Oh boy. That's going to be fun.
Oh yes, let's get ourselves entangled with the Castilian military and Inquisition, because that's not going to go badly for anybody aboard this ship of miscreants.
I mean, I am a veteran of the War of the Cross, so
Yeah, and I'm probably wanted in most of those cities. So
I mean, to Montaigne going after a Castilian ship, that's never caused a problem before.
I do not believe we have had the opportunity to properly introduce ourselves, even though we spent 10 minutes saying awkwardly to one another. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Captain Marie-Antoinette Normandie.
Alain looks around. Oh, hello. I am Alain Forbin, Marquis de Prevoye.
Seamus.
Marquis, Seamus, it is a pleasure to meet you both. Allow me to introduce my associate.
Siobhán blows a little kiss, maybe gives a wink at Seamus.
Just that's his hair.
She is Siobhán O'Brady. And I turn to Judy and I say, the Wayfarner is a military ship. Was your husband was Castilian then?
Yes. My husband was Castilian. I thought we established this previously.
You did not mention that he was Castilian. You only mentioned that you were married and then he disappeared.
Well, that's why I was living in Castile, Marie, because I'd married a Castilian.
I thought merely that you had decided to buy properties there. I was not one to judge.
So she goes, that is why he's part of the Castilian Navy. During the War of the Cross, that is how we met. It is a strange story for another time, perhaps.
Yes.
If he's military, why do you want us looking into it?
Presumably the military and the Inquisition go hand in hand. And if the Inquisition is involved in the death of her husband, well, what is to say that the military is not far off.
I would still like to hear Julie's answer, Marie Love.
Well, she said. Well, she pretty much says. Well, the Inquisition is they're in control of the country, so what they say goes.
And what about our new friends here? What do they think?
Are you saying that your husband has problems with the Inquisition? That's no good.
They destroyed my home in Castile.
Oh.
Matt, if you were speaking, you were muted.
Sorry, yeah. I have one question. Is there anything in particular on this wreck?
What do you mean?
Well, is there anything that might make it more worth our while?
Now we get to the point. What is in it for us?
Well, I was going to pay you, but well, obviously, whatever you find will be yours.
I'm going to need a little bit more than a promise of some treasure that we may or may not find in a ship that may or may not have sunk.
Oh, right. What do you want to know?
I want to know how you're going to make this worth our while. You are asking us to tangle with not only the military, but the Inquisition as well, who have already burned down your home. And as lovely as you are, I rather like my head attached to the rest of my body.
Okay. She says, well, I am a countess. I can pay you handsomely. Well, yeah. In fact, yeah. No, that
like reclining in the corner.
Well, she said, well, it's up to you. I could either pay you money. Well, you're going to get paid for it regardless. But if you don't want the job, then you don't have to have the job.
Does the ship ever go on an adventure?
I must admit, I am curious about what has happened here.
If it gives me a chance to stick it to the Castilian Navy, I will stick it to the Castilian Navy.
And even possibly the Inquisition?
Yes, any authority must learn to face the wrath of those that it offends.
Now you're talking.
I think you'll find, my dear friend, that we are all in agreement. James?
Yeah, I'm just looking up the skill. I think, Siobhán, I think I'm gonna get you to give me a risk roll.
Okay, you are going to have to remind me of the process for this.
So this is literally just this isn't like an action sequence. It's not a dramatic sequence. No, it's not a dramatic sequence. It's not a whatever. So basically, you're trying to get more out of her. All right, that's what you're trying to get, isn't it? You're trying to get either more information or more money or something else from it, aren't you? Is that your goal?
I'd say that's accurate. She's suspicious because this whole situation it stinks of something, and she's aware that this woman is manipulative. So she's trying to pin down a good price, trying to figure out why this particular thing is worth us getting involved. I mean, Marie's going to go sailing off regardless of what Siobhán decides, but Siobhán doesn't have to get on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So she's quite happy to stay in the tavern and get drunk for a few more weeks and then start pulling odd jobs again.
So what I need to do, right, is basically so it's going to be a tempt roll, or I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a tempt roll, because you're trying to basically get her to do something that you want her to do. So, so for one raise, so I'm going to need help here because I'm still like green at the system, all right? So, Bree, if you can suggest things, or if other people can suggest things as well. So, one raise. She'll increase the money that you'll get. So let's say everyone's getting 2. Once they complete this job, they'll have 2 wealth. All right, that's not it's not you'll get as a reward for doing this job, you'll have 2 wealth. If you for one raise, you can raise that 2 wealth to 3 wealth. Obviously wealth is a bit fickle because it only lasts like a session, but it might last till it might start at the beginning of the session and last the entire session. A second raise, she'll give you some more information about the wreck, or just a third raise, she'll give you some more. She'll tell you her actual suspicions of what's going on. Full phrase for a full phrase, she'll put you in contact with someone. She will give you information about the Adventuring Guild. Is it the Adventuring Guild? No, Explorer Society.
Explorer Society, yeah.
Which is my endgame goal.
And anything else? Oh, one raise to not make her feel to offend her. Am I doing this right, Bray?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so if she has, some information to give, doing a raise for cost, a raise for more information, a raise for suspicions. I mean, it's basically 3 opportunities, right? And then you could throw a complication in there, like, you need to spend a raise in order to not like make her angry at you while you negotiate.
Yeah, so you get
Yeah,
cost,
that's what you did.
one for more information, one for she'll be able to put you in contact with someone in the Adventurers Guild or Explorer Society. Sorry, I'd say the Adventurers Guild. One for basically not to come across fucking drunk and offender. So that's 4 raises in total that you can spend. So now what you need to do is tell me your approach.
Okay, so you said this has to be tempt for the skill, correct?
I think it's going to have to be tempt because that's what tempt does. I think.
Not convinced.
Unless you can argue another skill, but I don't think there is another skill that allows that.
Convince would be the one that I would try and.
All right. Well, yeah, mate. Yeah, convince or tempt, I guess.
I suppose there is
My
intimidate as well, but I don't think you want to do that.
Well, that's not her style. Her style is more to beguile the information out and sort of grift it as. I mean, she's tiny. She's not going to be like, "Rah, give me your information," because that's.
Yeah, but small dogs are vicious.
Unlikely to work. But meta game, my convince is slightly higher than my tempt, than my tempt. So I would like to use convince, but then I'm not sure which of the traits I would attach to it.
For the
I would
purposes
think
of, like, purely understanding the system,
Panache.
it's advantageous for you to use the lower level skill in a lower risk situation because you get a bonus die the first time you use something per session.
Right, that is correct.
Is it sessional? Do you get flair for Do you get flares for risks?
Double check, but I thought so.
Because it's flares under dramatic sequences or not? Sorry guys, we're just double checking the rolls. When a hero makes a risk, so it doesn't say you don't get it. When a hero makes a risk, they are encouraged to vary their tactics and to give interesting heroic cool descriptions of their actions. Every time you use a unique skill, a skill that you have not used before in this scene, you gain 1 bonus dice. So the scene just started.
So it's just per scene. So assuming that, if I don't have to make another roll like this, there's no reason not to use my higher score one because I'm not the only person involved here. So if I sort of flub this one, another character can make an attempt in another way. I don't necessarily have to save all of my cool stuff. I'd rather try and make the best showing in this scene possible for my character, if that makes.
So you're going to need to describe what you do. So you can get up to 2 dice in flair. So you get 1 for basically it's a new, you've never used the skill in this scene.
Yeah.
All right. And you also get 1 for a description as well. So if you describe or role play out what you're doing, you can gain an additional dice for that.
All right. So Siobhán. Oh, sorry. And just to clarify before I get into the role play, she would use panache as the trait, correct?
Sure.
For the approach, or sure. I can't quite remember each of them.
Be wits as well, couldn't it?
Yeah, that was, but the other one I wasn't sure. Is wits or panache?
Panache would be like your force of personality to do it, whereas wits would be like your sort of fast talking or outsmarting kind of a convince.
Okay. Julie is friendly, so I am going to try and use panache, my personality, to hit on that, as opposed to trying to avoid the manipulative with the wits. That's what I'm going to do. So Siobhán sort of picks herself up from the chair and sort of tosses her hair back a little bit, walks over to Julie and just says, I'm really sorry for the situation that you're in. It can't be easy, and I do apologize if we make it difficult, but we want to serve you in the best way possible and reach a favorable outcome for everybody. So we wouldn't be doing you a service if we didn't have all the information that we needed. And she would sort of be a little flirty, and because she doesn't care which way you swing, she's going to flirt with you anyways. And just she's trying to be charming and friendly, because they did strike up a bit of a friendship on the ship on the way here, and Siobhán did save a bunch of her precious artifacts. So
All right. So give us a panache convince roll. Panache convince roll. So do you remember how to? So on the character sheet where the skills are, go to convince. Next to where it says convince, there's it's probably saying none right now.
Yeah, I picked panache. I've got
pick
that
panache, right? Go back to convince and hit convince. All right, and it should bring up a box. The first one is penalty. You got no penalty. Next one is bonus. If you add 2 dice to the bonus dice, unless you're gonna use a hero point, then obviously you get an additional 1 dice, I think.
For my advantages, yeah, I can do that. Or for my sorcery, I can do that. I can spend a hero point to take a lash and get bonus dice, but I don't particularly want to do that right now, because I think the hero points are per session. Yes.
Correct. They reset at the setting. Yes, at the beginning of each session.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to spend one now. I'd rather save mine currently, because, like I said, there are other people here that could attempt to get the information out of her if my run fails. So.
Right.
And now I have to do math.
Right. So no, you got right. So yeah. So you got to make 10. So each 10 is a success. Also, I forgot to give myself some danger points because I get 1 per hero. So there is
that's 1.
4 heroes. So I get 4 danger points.
So if I've done my math correctly, I can make 4 10s out of that.
And how many leftovers do you have?
I use every dice in order to do that. But I go over by 3. My last 10 has 3 leftover points to it.
Okay, well that's...
Wing system is if we have any dice left over on our roll, James can buy them from us. He gives us 1 hero point, and he gets a number of danger points equal to the number of dice we have left over.
Okay,
so
but I...
0 or maybe 1 die left over in order to try and not give James a huge advantage at trying to kill us.
Yes. As far as I understand from adding it all up, I don't have any leftover dice. I just have leftover amounts on my dice.
So how many raises did you get? Sorry?
4.
4. And how many things did we have? So we had extra coin.
Yep.
More information. Get you in contact with someone in the Explorer Society, and
she's flattered, not offended.
And not offend her, yeah. That's 4 raises then. That will cost you all your raises.
Selection complete. Done.
All right. So she agrees to pay you 3 coin. Oh, it'll be well for free. And she says, so she goes, I don't. She says, I don't know if my husband is alive, but the whole thing of him being killed just smells. It just doesn't. The information that the stuff the Inquisitor would say to me, would lead on to would God, how do I explain it? He knew stuff about my marriage that only my husband and myself knew. How did he know this information?
Is it not possible that he could have found out before your husband passed?
Possibly.
Perhaps they were close and you weren't aware?
She says possibly. That could be an answer. But she does say, I just want this information. I just want to find out because peace of mind and all that. She said she also informs you that she is part of the Event Explorer Society herself. She is currently making connections with the Explorer Society in Montaigne. Obviously, the one in Castile was pretty much underground, as in it's illegal to be part of the Explorer Society in Castile. So she did a lot of the stuff. So a lot of the stuff she did on the download. Behind closed doors and greasing palms and stuff like that, which is why she had such a collection of Sivrin artifacts and things. But yeah, once she's made full contact, she will bring you in on a meeting.
I appreciate that, my dear. You are far too kind.
But whatever you find out about the wreck, and probably the best place to start, possibly be
Puerto del Sol.
Potato, yeah, del Sol. Stop laughing. I'm upset.
Before we leave her presence, I would like to try and sort of not be secretive about it, but not be super overt. Approach her and say something along the lines of, if you ever have need to hide one of your artifacts, I know a few people. It is possible that we could carry them away.
She's like, I lost a lot of my artifacts in the fire.
Interesting. Perhaps I will let people know that, and they will be found.
Well, she's like, well, that might be hard. Is it? How do I pronounce your character name? Is it? It's not Alain, is it?
It's sort of like Alain. Alain.
Alan. She explains that they were destroyed in the fire. A lot of it was destroyed in the fire. But obviously, after what the crew's done for her, she will be quite happy to support any of your expeditions, maybe, to find things. Yeah. I'll have to have a look, because I think there's one. I think there's one that allows you to have a support, someone who supports you, backing.
Patron.
Yeah, I think there's one. Yes, there is. Yeah, awesome. Okay, that works.
I'm definitely not angling to try and get 6 more favor with the Invisible College. That would never be a thing.
But yeah, she just explains, just be careful because the Inquisition may know that you have something to do with whisking me away. Because you remember just before you left port, someone was literally sniffing around in the early hours of the morning.
You'll have to be on our best behavior.
She nods.
Well, that's me out.
I am glad you said it because I was about to. I know you too well, my dear.
Yes, yes. And aren't you grateful you have me to keep you out of trouble?
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Oh,
Well,
didn't mean to press that.
That's all right.
so
So she offers you a drink, I guess, for the sort of the future partnership that they may that should come about from this.
to seal the deal and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I down it in one gulp.
It's good. It's probably a brandy or something. Yeah, it's probably like a brandy or something, or some sort of decent, good. Yeah, a good brandy that she offers you all a glass of.
Well, I'm an able drinker, so I drink it like water.
Siobhán's far too drunk to notice yet another drink, so she, in other circumstances, may have appreciated it greatly. In this case, down the hatch like water it goes. Cheers, loves.
Alain sips it while trying to find a place to stick a blooded coin so that he can pull us all back here if he needs to.
Yeah, Seamus will drink it, but he doesn't enjoy it as much as just a nice ale or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, so you sort of see it, knock it back and then go. Take my breath away.
Someone is not used to the hard liquor.
I'm a fan of the more simpler things of life.
Oh, that's okay, honey. We can educate you.
All right. So she thanks you for your time and bids you all a good day.
Am I able to stick like a blooded coin into like in between two slats in the table or something underneath?
Well, yeah, you're sort of in a reception room. Words. You're sort of in a reception room, come office type thing. There's like bookshelves with books on it and stuff, so you could quite easily hide a coin between a book.
Perfect.
You won't like appear in a book, will you?
No, you appear somewhere adjacent to it if it's in an object.
That's
so
all right.
If someone took my coin and put it in a box, I would appear where the box is.
Or if they put you in a safe, you'd appear in a. If it was a big safe, you'd appear in a safe.
Yeah, as long as I could fit.
All right, cool. All right.
A votre santé.
So
What
yeah.
she said.
That is French for cheers. And I totally did not just look that up. And I will bow to Julie and I will say, we will do our best. Of that I can promise.
All right. So, what does Marie think of this?
Marie is a little bit concerned because she is a veteran of. Apparently, my connection is unstable. She was a veteran is a veteran of the War of the Cross. She served for the Montaigne Navy. That's why she's got her uniform. But she is willing to work if it means getting the connection at court that is the Countess. And also if she gets to stick it to any form of authority, being a revolutionaire, she will take it greatly.
All right. What about Alain?
Oh, sorry.
What does he hope to get out of this?
I mean, this is the first big adventure he's ever gone on. Like, this is the first, not literally the first step because it's a little different, but it's the first step in his journey towards trying to be as great as his brother is. So he's a little afraid of the Inquisition, but also sort of like that little kid excitement of going to do something you've never done before.
Has he ever visited Castile, or has he just stayed away?
I suspect probably during university. I have him going to university in I think Altamira is the Castilian city that the Montaigne are currently occupying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where like the big university is. So that's probably where he would have gone to university, and he would have had Castilian friends. So, but that's like far in the north, and we're far in the south. So.
As anyone will tell you, the south and the north are completely different things.
What does what's Seamus's dreams? Matt?
To see new, basically see anything new, see things that people have never seen before, and to tell the story. So this does sound like a good idea. Really, there's some mystery here, there's some intrigue, and maybe there's a story in it.
Why is Siobhán such a heavy drinker?
Because she's still deathly afraid that one day her family's going to show up, take her away, and put her basically in servitude because of her powers, as happens to pretty much every woman born with fate magic in Varachi. So drink them while you got them, basically.
So, you've just finished your meeting with Countess Julie. Something or other.
I'm not holding it against you. That was a cheers prayer at the moment. Name I stole, for lack of a better word.
So, what's everyone up to?
Well, sorry, this spot's quite hot. Judy, not Judy, Marie.
It's dark in here, isn't it?
I wasn't going to say anything. So Judy would give a gentle nod to Seamus and Alain and say, if you have any further arrangements in the port, I would highly recommend that you carry on with them. Otherwise, you may find my ship at harbor. You may ask the harbor master for the level. It is an honor to meet you, and I look forward to the times ahead. And then Marie's gonna depart, and she is gonna go look to see if she can't find a piece of equipment for her boat. for a ship.
Oh, and what's that?
A diving bell.
Ah, that's a good idea. I think I'll join you.
How much money do you? How many coins have you got?
Well, here's the thing. So I brought cargo that I would have sold because it was confiscated wine.
All right.
Well, it was stolen congregational wine.
There may have been one or two less bottles by the time we went to go sell it than when we picked it up.
Oh, that's fine. So, like, there were 2 pieces of cargo on the ship, and I think it was 2 crates in essence, or at least 2 cargoes worth of stolen communal wine. So I can't remember how cargo works in this game. I think that means I get 1 coin plus. I get 1 coin more than what I normally get. I think. I can't remember. So, like, I would have paid 2 coin for it and gotten 3 coin in return.
Sure. Don't forget you need to split that with the crew, though.
Yes. So. Because I don't recall that you start with any wealth in each session, or you start with.
You start. Well, yeah. I think you start with. If you got no wealth, I think you start with no wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah. My character's not wealthy. That is not a trait.
All right. Sure. What? Yeah. So we'll say you got 3 wealth. You have to. By the end of this session, you're going to have to split 2. Is it rounded up or rounded down?
Oh yeah, and what happened to the 4 guys that we took from Plot Device's ship?
Didn't you sell that?
They joined your crew, didn't they?
Yeah. Didn't they join your crew?
Yes, they did. So I have 14 people as regular crew on the labor boom.
Bree, can you remember how much are you supposed to give to the crew?
Don't. I'm using the expanded ship rules in my game that are on the.
What expanded ship rules?
On the. Oh gosh, what's it called?
Pirate Nation?
On drive-through. It's like custom content, right? So
Yeah.
I forget what the thing is. But somebody came out with a couple of different things of expanded ship rules, and I'm using those, so I don't remember what it is.
Do they work well?
I mean, I tweaked them a little bit because they're a little more like sort of crunchy than I wanted it to be, but it took care of things like, I'm on a merchant ship, theoretically we're picking up cargo, how do we deal with that?
Alright, I'll have to have a look at that then.
I found the stuff in the raw book though.
What's it say, Matt?
It's halved and rounded down.
Alright, so you need to give your crew 1 wealth or they start becoming mutinous.
Okay, 1 wealth is fine. So I've got 2 wealth to spend on a diving bell. And Seamus is going to join me. I'll say, of course, you may come. I'm not
Brilliant.
going to stop someone. You have an interesting accent.
Yeah. Hands at the
Sorry, Matt, you're roboting. Hang on.
Yeah.
No one's using your internet while you're there, are they?
No.
Oh dear.
Is it, hello?
Hello?
Is it still bad?
It's not right now.
Okay. Just must be a spike in it or something. Yeah, I'm from the Highland Marches. You haven't lived until you've seen the glorious mountains and the glens.
Hang
I
on.
will have to make a trip up there one day.
I'd invite you. Your people and mine have got a grand history.
Yes, indeed. Sorry, I'm eating. I'm hungry.
Why is it not coming out of both? Is it gone? Has it gone mono? Is everyone else in stream? Is anyone else getting it through just one ear,
Oh, good. Stereo.
or is it just for me?
Stereo for me.
Me also.
Oh. Try talking again.
And say what?
There we go. That's better. All right.
Okay.
I accidentally clicked on the. I moved the thing around.
Do it. I was going to start quoting Romeo and Juliet.
Please don't.
What light through yonder window breaks?
Wind.
But yeah, so we're going off to see if we can find a diving bell, right?
Yeah.
I have the skill barterer.
Oh, so does
So-
Maria.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so if we
So does Marie.
if we, oh, there you go then. If we find a decent place to get it, I think we'll be all right.
How fucking expensive would a diving bell cost?
Exactly.
Because it's not exactly something that a ship would have.
Hmm. I wonder if we'd even have to go to like a blacksmith or something like that and get it made special.
That is a possibility.
I mean, my ship is a brigantine, which is it's quite a big ship.
Yeah.
It's like a brig light. It's like an SUV to a 4x4.
I mean, if the Explorer Society is not in hiding here, I would imagine that a diving bell would be something that would be useful. I mean, this is a seafaring group of nations in general, so I imagine wrecks are not uncommon, and therefore people trying to salvage the wrecks are also not uncommon. So I don't think what we're attempting to do is unheard of.
It looks like one wealth can basically buy a horse. So
Essentially.
Diving bell, horse, same thing.
It transports you somewhere.
Yeah.
It'll probably be more than one wealth. Because it's a specialised item.
Hmm.
How much wealth do you have, Marie?
2. Because of spending 1 for the crew.
Can you show me what barter does, please?
So, un momento.
I think I have it up already.
Oh,
Yeah, we spend. So we don't actually necessarily have to get the item.
Yeah.
Because what it lets us do is it says
Right.
spend a hero point to convince someone to cut you a deal, give you a reasonable discount, or assure someone who knows you that you're good for it. So I suppose in a deal, it could be we do something on top of paying a small amount, and then they're willing to give us a diving bell.
Alright, so I'm going to say a diving bell is probably 3 wealth. If you spend a hero point, you manage to find someone who's selling a second-hand diving bell.
Oh God, what happened to the people using it before?
You don't want to know.
They suffered the illness of the depths.
The Bens.
They surfaced too quickly.
So yeah, so either Marie or
Excuse me.
I'm happy to pay for this one. So
You
ping
mean
my
the hero
hero.
point wise.
yes,
right, spend that hero point.
done.
And
Yeah,
I
it's a
spend-
second-hand diving bell.
Fantastic.
Does it
It'd
have
probably be
one?
a brand new one. Would probably be like 4 wealth.
Well,
but
we're
this
only
one-
only need it for once.
Yeah, I'll clean the blood off. It's fine.
What blood?
Exactly.
Yeah. But
It is a little rusty though.
they're thick. It's about as thick as a tank's armor.
Is it? I thought it was okay.
You may deliver that to Livable on PR9. Merci beaucoup.
You want us to deliver it? Oh,
Well, do you see my crew somewhere? I am a busy one. You have no respect for a member of the Montaigne Navy?
sure. You're not really part of the Montaigne Navy anymore, but okay. All right. Yeah, sure. They'll deliver it tomorrow.
Ah, merci. And then I am going to go find some cargo.
Cargo.
Well, no reason not to sell cargo. We are selling to Puerto del Sol. I will need some cargo. I must make money. If I am to find the revolution.
All right. And how much wealth do you have left?
None.
Well, how are you going to get cargo?
Yes. Hold on a minute, I should have some.
Well, someone around here must be looking to get something shipped.
Or something illegal.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have I stole this ship from a pirate. It's got a smuggler's section. So I should be able to get, being a revolutionary, I might have contacts in less than appropriate places for a lady of nobility, so to speak. So I could potentially, or even gently nudge Siobhán to maybe keep an ear out for someone looking for, shall we say, a less than welcome cargo for Castilians.
There's a very good chance that she might know some people who know some people who don't know other people.
All right. All right. So what sort of cargo are you looking for then?
Well, it would have to be illegal in Castile. Anything that would sell in Castile, to be perfectly honest. Would I have gathered what is needed in Puerto del Sol, having been there before?
Informational type stuff would be illegal, like books and stuff, like stuff on science and things. Just hope the Inquisition aren't looking for you.
We can handle them.
Okay.
Don't like the way he said that.
What is wrong? There will be 5 of us when Quinn arrives.
Gone.
Quinn is probably going to be a little worn out when he gets back.
Bit shagged out, yeah?
Yeah.
He will have time to recover and regain his sea legs.
All right. So, I'm not going to make you roll because it's not that important. You do manage to find someone who wants to ship. They want to ship some paraphernalia to Castile.
Very good. I will take it.
It will only get you like, yeah, they'll they obviously want a bit of money for it because, you know.
Well, I shall barter to make them promise that I'm good for it.
All right. Okay. Sure. They'll accept if you spend a hero point, and they'll accept that you will just deliver it with no questions asked.
I've spent the hero point.
All right. You'll only get like 2 wealth from it when you do give it. Sorry, sorry if I'm keeping you up. So what now?
Well, what are the others doing?
Siobhán would be trying to sober up now that they have a mission. She's sort of swapping into that mode. Because she is reliable when it does matter. And would probably be, I don't know how many contacts she would have in the city, but she would certainly be trying to basically get any news that she could. I know this isn't the port that the Julie's husband sailed out of, but you know, sometimes word gets around, cover-ups take people, and unless everybody's dead, there's probably rumors going around. So
Yeah.
She would be sort of making her basically best effort to see if anyone's heard about the Wave Runner. I know we didn't ask during the scene, but I'm assuming we would have gotten descriptions of the husband and possibly relevant people, his first mate or however that works on a ship or boat or what have you.
All right. Unfortunately, there's little information to be garnered here because it's not. If it was a Montaigne ship, they may have more information, but because it's not a Montaigne ship, there is little to no information about said ship.
Not even a name?
Not even a name.
What about information about the family?
So the Countess families are obviously a wealthy noble family. Most of the people there, they're considered a good family. They try and look after the poor. Unfortunately, Montaigne's in a bit of a state because of the war. Like a lot of people were starving and stuff, so they do try and they have like a soup kitchen. I get it would be the equivalent of a soup kitchen, I guess, where family, you know, not unemployed, but you know, the peasantry can get at least a meal throughout the day. It is obviously well used, but supplies aren't. You know, it's not a grand meal like some of the noble families have in the city. A lot of the noble families don't trust them. Like there's definitely animosity between most of the noble families in the city because to the I don't know what the family would be called. I haven't got a name yet. I'll think of a name at some other point. But the Countess's blood family, because obviously it'd be different from her married name. They are, yeah. So the other noble families are very they don't trust them because they're helping the peasants, which is quite an unusual thing for the nobility to do in such a place and at this specific time.
Well, while they're off doing that, Alain is going to try and see if there is a local cell of the Invisible College, because he has some information about the Inquisition that could be useful to them.
All right. So for anyone who doesn't know, do you want to explain what this college is?
So the Invisible College is one of the secret societies, and they basically work to try and save scientific endeavor and save knowledge from the Inquisition. So Alain joined when he was in university and isn't super quiet about it, but quiet enough to know that the Inquisition will literally murder him if they find out.
Well, you're also a sorcerer.
Valid.
They'll double murder you.
Yeah.
It's okay. They'll string Siobhán up right next to you. So
That put Mari-Antoinette at Normandie right beside you too, just because she hates them.
You'll be right. You're not a sorcerer.
Oh, but I am anti-Inquisition.
There's probably a small one. Would it be a college? How open are they? Are they like a full-on secret society? I mean, Montaigne has no longer got ties to the church now. Anyway, does it? So
No, but they do have a bunch of universities, so it's become one of the places where they sort of choose to hide things.
yeah, sure. So yeah, there is a university. So it's not a massive university by any long shot. Because this is, I mean, even though it's a port city, it's not a massive port city. It's not a major port. I mean, it's mainly fishermen. Do you know what I mean? It's mainly a fisherman's town. Well,
Yeah.
Whatever, town, village, whatever. I don't know. It's probably bigger than a village, but it's probably on its way to being a town. There isn't a massive military present here, neither. But yeah, there is a college. There is a thingamabobby of the thingamabobby of the thingamabobby.
So I want to go to them and tell them that the Countess's Castilian husband, who was a captain in the Castilian Navy, had his ship very possibly sunk by the Inquisition, and they are refusing to investigate. And it would seem that perhaps they do not have the grip on Castilla that they think they do.
Sorry? I was looking at the book.
So basically, I tell them about the countess and the countess's husband, and how there was this Castilian captain who was piloting a military ship, and it's very, very possible and very likely that the Inquisition sunk the ship because of some secret between the wife and husband, which that's sort of Inquisition juicy gossip, because the intention is to try and ultimately tear down the Inquisition, and if they're attacking a member of a family who creates ties between two countries that had very recently been at war, that's almost something that could coax further battles. So Alain like tells them all about that stuff, and if it is, an important enough secret and/or information, potentially gain one more favor with the Invisible College.
Yeah, you'll gain a favour.
Cool.
I don't know how much favour you start with.
Just one if you're a member.
You've got 2 favour now. They'll your contact, or the person you contact, Professor Mozart.
Okay.
He sort of he does say, would like to, do you explain that you're going to find the ship?
Yes.
He'd like you to report back on any information you gain.
Absolument.
All right, cool.
And then I'd go to the ship. When the diving bell shows up, I would definitely be 100% gung-ho about being the person who gets in the diving bell.
All right.
I just need to spend like 20 minutes alone with a cannonball, so that I can blub the cannonball and then walk back to the ship if the worst case scenario happens.
Nice.
All right. So you've got a diving bell. Cameron, you're muted, so no one can fucking hear you.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that. I am never going to stop someone from volunteering.
At least he hasn't broken anything this stream.
Give me time.
So
My fridge broke. There.
yeah, but that was ages ago. So we're just. So what are you doing? Let's have a look, because Cameron just wrote the pronunciation and was like, "Let's do a drinking game." I can't find it.
Seamus.
Is it Seamus?
It is Seamus.
All right.
So I'm obviously we've probably got the plans to sort of leave tomorrow-ish is what I've figured. So
Yeah.
I'm taking my role as a crew member seriously, and I'm getting the crew nice and drunk before we leave.
They mainly drink rum. What's your opinion on rum?
A good, solid, hearty drink.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm just sort of sitting there in the mess hall, just regaling
So I
people
would-
with ridiculous tales.
I would have thought you'd be up on the main deck.
Also, yeah, I'll wander up there every now and again as well. And if someone's getting the diving bell ready, it's piquing my interest.
Siobhán is going to be sprawled out somewhere with a cup of coffee, shooting murder eyes at anybody drinking, because she knows that she has to be sober for a job now and would much rather be drinking. Because she's not sold on the idea of sending an unknown person down in the diving bell. Because just because Julie wanted to hire them doesn't mean they're entirely part of the crew. She doesn't have bad feelings towards Alain, just that she has generally been the go find things perception-y person. So, but she's
Right.
also not thrilled at the idea of going down to the bottom of the ocean. So there is that.
Depends on how deep it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so next day the diving bell turns up bright and early. The crew bring it aboard. It takes probably about 6 or 7 people to fucking lift the thing. Oh yeah, they've got a winch. I forgot that. They would have a winch. And they sort of have to leave the... Yeah. They're going to have to use the wench? That's the wrong thing. Winch.
No, Siobhán is the wench. Use the winch.
They're going to have to use the winch to, like, drop it into the ocean when it goes down, so that it can be brought back up. It takes a little while for the people. The bosun, Justin Bouquets, to try and get it set up correctly. Would it? Do diving? Is diving bells don't have a thing to pump oxygen down to them? Do they? Or is it literally just a?
They don't have a thing that pumps oxygen down, but they've got a lot of oxygen in them.
Okay. So yes, they sort of hold it. They sort of have it sitting in the hold with in fact he'll just practice like getting it set up and stuff like that, and then what they'll do is during the trip, because it doesn't need to be attached until they really need to use it, so
Store it in the hold.
in fact they'll probably get Seamus to give a hand with like making sure that the rope's secure and it can hold the weight and stuff, and
I would. So a brigantine, if memory serves me correctly, has 2 masts. So just put it in between the 2 masts so that it's in the center of the ship. Yeah, that would be the plan.
Yeah, Seamus is fairly familiar with sailing, so
yeah, and then just
You'll
put
be able
tarp over it. There's actually no need to lower it into the hold, mostly because the hold is full of illegal paraphernalia.
perfect.
It also sounds like it'd be a super pain in the ass to move back again when we would need it. So
It would take some time. Best to have it ready in any case.
well, like I said, they're not going to have it. Oh bollocks! Anyway, shall we? Yeah. I just deleted something because I forgot to hit save. I'll sort it out right now. Yeah. So yeah, you're all set to go. You've had the whatever that I can't now pronounce.
paraphernalia.
Yeah, that word that I could pronounce a minute ago and now I can't has turned up. It's a crate of basically, yes, it's a bunch of flyers.
Can I read one?
The little pamphlets.
Yeah, little pamphlets that basically saying, "Don't trust the Inquisition," blah blah blah. They're sapping your knowledge and stuff, and it's to be delivered to like a college in
White Water Solid.
yeah, that one.
Are they? What language are they in?
Castilian.
Okay.
If anyone doesn't speak Castilian, I am definitively not telling them what they say.
I tried to read it, but it's in Castilian, so I can't read Castilian.
I'll read it for everyone.
Damn.
Says something along the lines of like, so it literally just basically says, you can't trust the Inquisition. They've got your king, captured and stuff like that. So it's, if you're caught with this, it could potentially mean that you get strung up as a heretic.
Brilliant. I start preaching from the main deck of the ship to all the crew members who listen about the evils of Castile.
Siobhán just goes to her bunk and adds another mark. Yet another reason the Inquisition wants to kill me. Just keeping a tally.
In the captain's log, Mari-Antoinette will write, "I appreciate the audacity of our new friend, Monsieur Seamus. However, he must be careful. if we arrive in Castile and he is still like this, it'll make for an interesting time.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Siobhán has ropes and a gag.
All right.
Oh, my. What do they teach you in Badachi?
No.
James is like, yep, I'm just noping right out of that.
In the process of us like getting going, I'm going to put a major mark on the foremast of the ship.
Okay.
Those are the ones I can walk to. I can't walk to the small ones.
Okay. I did have a brief look at whatever it's called, portal.
Fortis to the soul.
Forte.
Sunport.
Yeah, Porte. That's it. The magic, not the place.
Oh,
Oh,
The only thing that annoys me about, so I'm gonna, the thing that there's my major gripe with the books is the fact that a lot of the places that appear on the maps aren't in the books, so it's not that helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry, just going back to Alain putting a mark on. Because the marks are how the Strega, the Fate Witches, work as well, I think.
This
So
is
would-
a blood mark. So I basically, under cover of night, I would take one of my gloves off and be ridiculously emo, and then spread my blood on the mast.
Do you have to take?
I'm just wondering if Siobhán would see the marks or pick up on the magic being used, or if it's complete. Like I'm not 100% familiar with how the magic in
It's
the
a
universe
completely different
works.
sorcery. So the
Okay.
things that you get with Strega are like fate lashes.
Yeah.
As opposed to blood marks, which are basically you imbue an object with your sorceress blood.
Okay. I just wasn't sure whether sort of streams of magic. So if she uses magic, would you be able to tell?
Probably not. There's no reason why my character would know what Strega looks like.
Okay.
So, like, if you had a reason to know what Forte looked like, if I ripped open a portal and walked through, you would know I was using Forte.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm assuming that if Siobhán does something really obvious, like, you know, slice her wrist open, take a lash, and then, you know, yank some people towards her with nothing, that people would notice. But I just wondered how that worked with sensitivities to like the other types.
You looking it up?
Okay, so that is my one drama die. I mean, my one hero dice.
What? It costs you one hero point.
It costs a hero point in order to blood something.
All right.
It costs a dramatic wound in order to pull or walk to it.
All right. Oh, nasty.
Yeah, it's not. You can't do it a lot.
So you're all right. So you've bloodied the mast, or one of the main masts, so you can get back to the ship if need be. And that's permanent, isn't it? Do you have to upkeep it at all?
Nope. I can. I have 2 sets of sorcery now, so I can have 2 major marks. So
Yeah.
my first one would almost definitely be in my chateau.
Yeah.
And then the second one would be the mast. So that way I can get home and I can get back to the.
And what was the coin that you dropped?
So I can have up to 4 minor things, which allow you to. You can pull them to you, but you sort of have like a very rough sense of where they are.
Yeah.
Also, I think you know within like 100 feet or 100 yards or something where they are.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah, everything's set, everything's ready, and you're ready to sail off.
Unless anyone has anything else.
Should we assume that Siobhán goes and grabs Quinn from whatever bed or place that he is entertaining himself?
Don't think. No, there's no because Monty's not coming back.
Oh, okay. So he has just wandered off then.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Babies. What are you gonna do, right?
Don't know. They seem to take over everyone's life. God, I don't have any.
Mine makes an excellent cup of tea now, though.
Well trained then. They set sail, heading back to Castile. Only over a week ago they left this port, and now they're heading back to the same place that they left. So, ladies and gentlemen, it takes probably 3 to 4 days to sail the distance, I'd guess, because I'm not sure what speed boats go at. So it doesn't really tell you how long it takes to get there. But yeah, I reckon about 3 or 4 days to get round.
I would say the fastest sailing ship that I can think of immediately was 18 knots, but we're going to be nowhere near that. So I'd say about 10 knots on average.
I don't know what knots equal to miles per hour.
I think it's
I counter with, would they tell you how long it takes in an Errol Flynn movie?
No, they wouldn't. All right. So a few days later, you arrive at Porto del Sur. Same place that you left not too long ago.
I would have taken some preparations
All right.
beforehand. I would have changed out the flag from Montaigne to Castile.
Yep.
And then I would have put a false name over the genuine name.
Okay.
So the ship is now called the Puerto del whatever night is the Bueno des Noches in
Yes.
I would have called it that. So we've got the flag of so that way no one would notice that we were the Liverpool.
Okay. Obviously there's okay. Obviously, some people are a bit confused by the Vestinarian ship coming in with a Castilian flag on it, but you know, people just shrug their shoulders at it. You pay your docking fees. Now what?
Are there any questions raised while we're doing that?
By who?
The dockmaster, the harbour master, or whatever?
Not really. I mean, obviously, you know, people do like buy ships from other countries and or take them as plunder and stuff. So you know, it's not entirely unheard of that a ship with a different nation flag is flying from a different nation ship. Make any sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I thought I may have overcomplicated that with the way I explained that.
Yeah,
I went around the fucking houses. Sorry?
Half of Royal Caribbean international ships are built in Finland, so
Okay. Thanks. Now what?
to help.
Now what? You're back here. Yeah, so now you're back here. What do you want to do? Where'd you start?
Hell, I think our best
Well,
bet would be. Oh, Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say our best bet would probably be to ask the harbour master himself if he'd ever heard of this, of Julie de Bourgny's husband's ship.
Siobhán would caution against that because I don't know that we necessarily want to raise up the information flag right away that we are, if this is a cover-up and not just that a ship sank, we do not want to tip off the Inquisition that we are looking for it, because whether they recognize us as the Verbeau or not, if we are looking into a cover-up. So Siobhán would basically tell Marie that she should just continue business as normal. She's there to do some trading, maybe catch up with people. Don't try and make it obvious what we're doing.
And Marie would be wearing normal clothes for once. She would not be wearing her officer's uniform. She would be wearing a fake. She's still got a prideful uniform, but it's tattered. It's been worn. It's just a normal merchant captain's uniform. It's nothing at all flamboyant and nice and screaming that she is totally out of her league, so to speak. And she would also be wearing the tri-horn hat. I think it's a tri-horn or tri-corn. So that she's got her red hair tucked up into it. So that, because anyone with red hair, as I have noticed, will, not that I have red hair, but I know people with red hair, very noticeable.
Yes.
So tuck it away and hide it underneath the tricorn.
So yeah, Siobhán would basically say, you are the captain of a merchant vessel. That's what you are doing here. You and the crew are in charge of making sure nobody suspects any other reason for us to be here. You are the disguise right now.
Well, I shall have to do some legitimate trading. But first, I must get rid of these flyers.
Yes, please get those off the ship. Siobhán, though, would sneak off the ship, depending on how much traffic there was happening at the port. She might wait until later in the day, like evening.
Well, the port will obviously, this time of day, the port is, alive with stevedores and stuff like that. People, removing cargo from ships and taking it to warehouses that sort of line the dock. There are,
so she could get off the ship unnoticed then with all the busyness.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be easy to sneak. It'll be easy to get off a ship at this time of day, or later at night. But at this time of day, it's so busy. People probably wouldn't even, it wouldn't be as noticeable. What are you trying to do then? Tell me your plan.
So her plan is to get off the ship. She would prefer to go solo, but she would bring Alain or possibly Seamus, although he seems a little bit flamboyant for what she's attempting to do. But she also knows that he could make life difficult for her if she left him behind, and he didn't want to stay behind. So her goal would basically be to get off the ship and start making contacts, or like touching base again with some people, and just starting to get information. She'd sort of her number one thing that she'd like to find out first. What's the Cardinal up to? The last they heard, he'd burned down the house. So before she even starts trying to poke around about this cover up that she suspects, she wants to know where he is.
Okay. And how are you gonna? How would the others find out that that's your plan? Because
I mean, she would probably share it. She doesn't necessarily trust Alain and Seamus a ton at the moment, but she does understand that they are all on this mission together and that they may have skills that would be helpful to her. So she's sneaking off the ship, not sneaking away from the crew, but basically that she doesn't want people in the port to know she's on this particular ship. This is a merchant ship. This has nothing to do with Siobhán and her shady business.
Okay. Right, should we roleplay that out then? So
Sure.
Marie is off the ship trying to get the flyers to where they need to go. Obviously, you're not taking the flyers with you. You're going to go make contact with the people that need to get the flyers off the ship.
Oui.
So, I guess down in the bowels of the ship, away from, the crowded streets or the crowded docks of Porto del Sol.
So I meet the contact down below.
What?
Is this for me?
No, it's for Siobhán, Seamus, and Alain.
So, Siobhán,
I mean-
you look like a lady who has a plan at the moment. You have that look about you.
Oh, honey, I am always a lady with a plan. Whether you can tell or not, I always have a plan. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that they would have shared a little bit more about the fact that they that the house burned down and the cardinal and like some of that connection. So she wouldn't have to explain that now. Because it took them a couple days to get here and they probably talked.
Yeah.
But right now, my plan is to find out how likely it is that this beautiful face will stay attached to this beautiful body, because the last we knew of the cardinal, he was in town. And if he's here, we need to be much, much more careful. He would not hesitate to set fire to the ship and string us all from the mast as it burned.
Alain subconsciously looks down at his hands.
Well, I think there's a good chance that they'll have no idea that I'm not, how should we say, a local if I choose to take that avenue. At that point, I switch from a heavy Scottish brogue to an equally heavy Castilian lilt, and I speak perfect Castilian.
Oh,
As a
lovely.
linguist, I
You are
can do
going to
that.
be useful.
Yeah, so if need be, I can make a distraction in the town. I've become the center of attention, so to speak, in a good way. And I hear tends to be a helpful way to make some coin while doing it as well. So we could play both angles.
And what about you, Mr. Fancy? Do you have any skills and connections in town that we should be aware of?
Connections, I don't think so, but I am a lecturer and I've been to a lot of school. I went to finishing school, yeah, so I'm quite able to talk my way out things. If necessary, I could come in speaking Katabic, which is a trade language from the Croissant Empire, and just pretend to be a merchant.
Lovely. Well, maybe you can be useful after all. I would like to find information about this cardinal. I am not certain that the best way to do it would be in a group. However, I am also hesitant to allow you to wander off alone.
Fair play.
So, Perhaps we might make our way into town together and see what bits of information we can dig up.
I haven't been to this path before, so I will follow your lead.
Well, what if you two walk out in public and I will keep to the shadows and keep an eye on you and sorry, I started that sentence without knowing where it was going to end.
I mean, that sounds perfect. Seamus, how would you like to be a noble's bodyguard for the afternoon?
I can play that part very easily. And I sort of just readjust my claymore that's strapped across my back.
Well, you think would be best to find information? I could always see if there are any scholars in the area, but they're probably hiding.
It's my experience that the local tavern tends to be a hub for activity, both illicit and otherwise.
Enough drinks in someone and you can hear some interesting stories.
Well, either way, as I said, I do not know this stuff.
Perfect. All right, then. If we're ready to go, Seamus is going to adjust his tartan so that it's a little less flare, but it's going to become like a sash that he just has dangling from his belt, and instead he just looks like a more sort of more like a mercenary for hire.
Right.
He's got like levers on underneath, and those become the main attire rather than the tartan across him.
Okay.
Oh, not traditional?
Not traditional at all.
How disappointing.
If I was traditional, I would have stayed at home.
Alain is just
That's a
going to
good
take
point.
on the affect that he has to in court with that sort of aloof Montaigne noble. Why would I even bother talking to you?
Okay. All right. So you head into a tavern. Is that where you're heading to?
Yeah, so I guess as Alain is sort of like leaving the boat down the gangplank, I like go like a few paces behind him, like a bodyguard would. And as we sort of pass the harbour master or someone else who's working on the docks, I sort of say to them in Castilian, my master is looking for somewhere to have a drink. Is there somewhere nearby?
He looks over at Alain and then look at. I'm probably getting your name completely wrong because I'm crap at pronouncing things. And then looks back at Seamus and goes, "Oh yes, well your master, you won't want to be nesting in any of these taverns round near here. You probably want to go further into town where there's a bit more wealth."
No, do not deign to tell me where I would want to drink. I am a bard just like the rest of you.
Well, my liege, it's a bit, rough. Some of the inns around here, taverns.
I am trained with a sword.
Okay. The Silver Fish. Just down that road down there. You can't miss it. It's got a silver fish as a sign.
Is it quite fishy?
Sorry?
Is it quite fishy? Is this not an expression? Never mind, locals. And he walks off.
I'm just going to harbour master just like an apologetic glance, and then carry on.
All right. What's Siobhán doing?
Well, while he's, making a scene, she will slip off the ship, hopefully in a way that like he doesn't see. So if cargo's being offloaded, she might go and pretend to be like a crew member helping with that, and then just sort of disappear off into the harbor a little bit, and then just keep her eye on where they're going.
Well, okay, well, it's too busy for them to really notice that going on. So I'm not going to be asking you to roll because it's not a risky roll at all. So you generally quite easily slip off the become, meld with the crew, come off the crew, sort of, slink along the side, and then, meld with the crowd of people and the stevedores, like wheeling the, getting the barrels into into the warehouses and stuff. So it's not particularly hard. And where are you going?
Well, she's sticking around to see where Alain and Seamus wind up going. And then she's kind of going that direction as well. She doesn't want to split them up in the town just yet. The last time they were here was not lovely. So she doesn't want to be too far from assistance, should that be required.
Okay.
And she's kind of trusting them to keep, Seamus and Alain to keep an eye on her. And if Marie wasn't busy, to come along as well, if she's just looking like a merchant. But
right.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Marie,
Oui.
where are you heading?
I am heading to wherever, presumably the person who gave me the paraphernalia would have told me where to drop it off.
At the college, basically.
But the college would be quiet, no?
It is quiet.
Hidden.
No. It's just a college. It's just literally a college, like a school. It's not the secret society, even though there may be members of the secret society in the college. Because you was the first off the boat, one of the things you notice, you probably even look at, you may even see it on a notice board, but there's a wanted poster for the Countess Julie, wanted for crimes against the church.
Is it prominent or is it with others?
Which with others, but obviously, you recognise the face that's been drawn.
Does it offer a reward?
Yes.
Well then, looking like a merchant captain who might be interested, I will pull the wanted poster off of the board and pocket it.
Okay.
Signify that it has been taken.
Okay.
And then I will make my way to the college.
All right. Okay, so you get to the college. It doesn't. I mean, I'm not sure if you've ever been to colleges before or what your education was. If you're an officer, you probably would have been to some sort of naval college of some sort. This place is dead as doornails. And going in, everyone, the people that seem to be working here seems miserable. Yes, how may I help you?
Hola. I am.
What did you call my mother?
I called your mother nothing. I have said nothing about your mother. I was merely saying hello. Is that not how you say hello in Castilian?
Same. But anyway, so he goes, how may I help you?
I do apologize for disturbing you. I see you are quite busy. I have a delivery. Uh,
For who?
Would it have been marked? Would I know who?
Yeah, you've been
Yes,
given a
it-
name.
You're gonna let me come up with a name?
Yeah.
Make it complicated.
Nah, I'm not gonna. Hang on.
I'm actually just looking up Castilian names.
His name is Juan
Javier.
Nopemencio.
Juan?
Yes, Juan Nopemencio. Mencio, sorry. Even I'm struggling with it, and I know how to say it.
Sure. He points you in the direction. He's in the the Bible, the whatever, the prophets, the history of the prophets.
Gracias. And I will head in that direction.
So one thing you also notice is that the place is in a bit of disrepair. Like they're getting no funds whatsoever to maintain the property at all. And there's a distinct lack of any books. Apart from the equivalent of the Bibles.
Right. That's concerning.
Not if knowledge has been oppressed by the church. It isn't.
Yes. Which, right. I will look inside the classroom, but discreetly, as to not cause attention to myself. Is it being used, or?
Well, there's a man in there just sort of, he's scrubbing a chalkboard. Come in.
Excusez-moi. Are you Monsieur Nopemencio?
Hey, yes, I am.
Suspect.
And we'll end it there.
Oh,
Oh, what amazing crap cliffhanger. What a shit cliffhanger. But yeah, it is coming up to the time that we've got to wrap up, so we'll wrap up. Alright, so we're going to do shout outs. So what happens here, everyone just gives a shout out where they can find you. If you want them to follow you on Twitter, they can, and stuff like that. I think most of you have access to being able to post your Twitter stuff. Let me just make sure, because I've only got one person set up. So we'll start with Cameron. Cameron, give yourself a shout out where they can find you.
Hello. So once again, my name is Cameron Harrison. You can find me on Twitter at CLH Harrison. I will be appearing tomorrow on the second half of the one shot of Grim Space.
It's not really a one shot. Grimmer Space.
The two shot then. Here on James's channel. I will be here tomorrow. Other than that, you can find me here weekdays, Monday, playing Corp 7 Seas. You can also find me in the chats of Spooky Draws and several people affiliated with her. Other than that, Sundays, starting next Sunday, hopefully, I will also be on J-Wall's channel, J-Wall 7Z, starring in a Blades Against Darkness campaign, which will be started next week. Next week is episode 1. So come see me then.
All right. Bree?
Yeah, again, I'm Bree Barnes. I am mostly a photographer. You can find me on Instagram at justanotherbree_official. And that's where I post more often than anything else. So my Twitter is at justanotherbb, but I'm not on there nearly as often. Starting in a couple of weeks on Wednesday nights, I'll be running this game on my Twitch channel for a while, at least, until I figure out whether or not that's a thing that my players want to keep doing. But
It'd probably be more exciting than this.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. But that
Don't
said,
sell yourself short, James.
half of my party has been playing this game with me live for about 8 months, so they have a pretty established banter. It's just different.
Thank you. What's your Twitch account?
Oh,
You can post it in chat. You should be able to post it. Try it.
yeah, I think it's
We'll
just
get it-
another bra. Just
we-
another breed.
We'll get it sorted for next week as well, so that I'll just have it all set up to do it.
Cool.
Matt.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Kachingdosh. That's KERCHINGDOSH. Yeah, I don't post there often, but the more people that follow me, the more I post. I go through sort of sprees. But yeah, I'm here in James's game on Mondays when I'm around. Probably won't be the next few weeks, but then I'll be back after that.
Yeah, he's got to go away with the in-laws.
I do, yeah. It's not as bad as it sounds.
He's going over Europe for the last time that he'll be able to.
Yeah, we Brexit.
Yep.
Fun.
And last but not least, Chelle.
Hello, I'm Chelle. I am a Twitch streamer. You can find me on Twitter. Oh, look, James has all that stuff. Excellent.
Yeah,
so you
that's
can
left
find me on
over.
Twitter. Yay! I shit post a lot on Twitter. So yeah, I'm on there a fair bit. You can also find me on my channel, which is same as my Twitter handle. I stream Monday nights, Friday nights, and Kyrix, what other night do I stream? Sunday nights, yes. But I do variety stuff. So I do everything from Pathfinder, Kingmaker, the computer game, to art streams, and Sims, Hollow Knights, whatever strikes my fancy.
I'm shit at Hollow Knight.
I am also shit at Hollow Knight, which apparently people really enjoy. My "this is fine" emote, wrong button, and the swearing emote are all born out of Hollow Knight. I had to mark my channel mature specifically because I swear a lot when I play Hollow Knight.
My channel's always mature, just because. All right. So for me, as Cameron said, tomorrow we are doing Starfinder Grimmer Space, which is a Kickstarter setting for Starfinder. Okay, I could have probably done that better, but it's been run by the designer, so that should be a lot of fun tomorrow. I think last week he played on, after he played on us on Wednesday, he was on the Roll20 app Twitch channel, and had considerably more viewers, like considerably more. But maybe that might attract some people over to watch on Monday, on tomorrow. Who knows? Other than that, on Sunday, hopefully we'll be Call of Cthulhu in again. It's been a week since we last did it. I've got to finish doing all my notes, and it's not the most exciting thing to do. And yeah, I need to get my finger out my bum and get it done. But I have to prep 2 episodes because of the way the game works. So it's like 25 pages. I've got to like abbreviate and what's it called? What's it called where you sort of break a sentence down to like its core things?
Paraphrase?
Paraphrase. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, I'm not very good at it because it's something you didn't learn in school. Other than that, if you are interested and want to support the channel, please do consider giving me please do consider subscribing to me on Twitch if you want to. If you're not using your Amazon Prime, you can use that. If you don't want to support me on Twitch, there is obviously Patreon, which can be done for considerably cheaper, and you can pay what you want for that. And also, don't forget to check out my social media. We have a Discord. It's called the PTG Discord, and it's a group of like-minded individuals. You'll find everyone here there. Check out my Twitter, which is twitter.com/JamesCorpTV, all one word, and that you will see when we're going live. Same for Facebook. If you use Facebook over Twitter, I do have a Facebook group that you can join and like the page, and that will be posted stuff on there. And then if you want to watch any of the VODs, we've got a YouTube channel. Well, I've got a YouTube channel, and I upload all the VODs on there, so you can watch that there. Next week should be a bit more, I wouldn't say polished, but it should be a bit more. I should have unrusted myself from the current, like, not having run for like 2 months. So I was just trying to find my feet, and it didn't help. Things happening behind the scenes right before
I'm
we were about
unlikely
to,
to find a naked lady in my yard next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm unlikely to find a naked lady in my yard next week right before we go live. So
but yeah, so we'll be down to 3 players next week, but like I said, as long as there's 3 players, we're going to keep going. Matt, you're away for 3 weeks, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you want your characters to be doing for the next 3 weeks?
Happy to help out if there's no chance of them dying, but otherwise they can help man the ship.
Okay, I'll send you back to the ship. All right, cool. Other than that, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for watching, and thank you guys for playing. And we're going to say bye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.